Joy, love, and light. Peace and joy, love, and light. May the entire universe be filled with peace and joy. Peace and joy, love, and light.
Good girl.
Peace and joy, love, and light. Loka samasta, be filled with peace and joy. Peace and joy, love, and light. Peace and joy, love, and light.
Thank you. A girl with confidence. Can you start a team for us with the children, teach them mantras? Will you do that for us? You got a nice voice. You got a lovely voice. What a good girl. Thank you. Thank you for being so brave and so confident. I'm very proud of you. And she's brought us more goodies today as well. Prashad, she's baked for us. So I'd like to thank her. And before I start, I'd also like to thank Tertu for being a great manageress of this bazaar we're going to have. She's dynamic. Her name is, her Sanskrit name is Durga, which means, do you know Goddess Durga, any of you? Okay, she's the goddess, I don't know if you've seen it, in Indian legends. She's the goddess that sits on this big tiger, and she has a sword in her hands. And Durga is, and you know, in the Indian tradition, if you have a problem, etc., they normally pray very hard to Durga to help them over this negativity. And there are 9 days in, normally around October time, called Navaratri, that people observe in India and all over the world as well, and where they pray to the goddesses. And Goddess Durga is one of these goddesses. The three goddesses is, one is Goddess Lakshmi, one is Goddess Saraswati, and one is Goddess Durga. And they're really symbols of the goddesses in all of us, male and female alike. Goddess Saraswati is the goddess of arts and learning and wisdom. And Goddess Lakshmi is the goddess of wealth, all wealth. You know, material, spiritual, all wealth. And Goddess Durga represents, you know, overcoming all the obstacles in this. Now, she looks fierce, she's quite scary, you know, when you look at her picture. But it's good, we need that strength sometimes. We need to have that Shakti, we call it Shakti, that power sometimes to move the world. If sometimes we're too soft, we don't move people. Sometimes you need that Shakti, and Goddess Durga is that Shakti. My father used to tell my mother all the time when she used to complain about her pains, ask Goddess Shakti and Goddess Durga to help you. Give me Shakti, give me energy to bear this pain, you know. And I used to tell her every morning, she used to complain. You say, no, you say, give me strength, give me power, give me energy to deal with what I have to deal with. And she'd repeat it after him. Isn't that lovely? You know, that's so lovely to watch. And I thought every father did that to every man did it to every woman, but they don't. Sometimes it's the women that do it to the men too. It's also important. When they're down and when they're feeling low, say, don't get so down. Ask for strength. I know you're going through a bad time. I know you're going through a bad time. I accept you're going through a bad time. But you need to ask for strength and not wallow away in your fear. And it makes them ask for strength. And already by asking for strength, you become strong. Because you already, I want strength. See, the moment you want it, as you think, yeah. But if you think weakness, oh, I'm so weak, I can't, what will happen? You cannot. You really cannot. Watch your words very carefully. Watch if they're positive or negative. It's really important to watch your words. And all this because I mentioned her name, Durga. And she's going to be in charge of the bazaar. As you know, I'll be away till the 10th of December. But we have a great team, the Friends of Sis. And will you please stand up so they know, I think half the room is the Friends of Sis now. They know who you are to contact if they have any questions. Turtu's in charge. Turtu, can you stand up, please? Or Durga, you know, and Mary, I've given her your number. She'll be in touch with you. Okay, perfect. So the last session on pranayama. Before I can continue on what we'll revise what we've done. Do you have any questions? Okay, great.
I've only seen it, it's on the bowl.
Oh,
Actually, it was from last week, but anyway. It was on my side.
there's one on the bow. What is the best sequence of breathing to do in order to open up the lungs? All the breathing methods that I've been teaching open up the lungs. The most powerful one is Kapalabhati, which is skull shining, which is the forced. Actually, Bhastrika is even stronger, but you should not do Bhastrika until you're quite good at doing Kapalabhati, which is the forced exhalation and a natural inhalation. That, because it pumps, you know. There's another one that I personally love. Sorry, I'm looking for a tissue. I'm sorry, Shanti. Thank you. There's one I personally love as an asthmatic, which I was planning to teach you today. Because being an asthmatic, and when I first started, this one for me was like, I call it rubbing Vicks on my chest. Right? And you know, all this area feels very constricted and you can't breathe. And this one really helped me a lot. And it's called Ujjayi. And it's a breath I haven't taught. How many of you know Ujjayi? You do. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. It's for me, it helped me a lot with my lungs, and it's really good for people who have problems with speech and voice. If your voice is very sharp, it softens it, and it's also good if you are fearful of speaking. It's a really good one to open up this chakra, because it not only works on your physical, it also works on your emotional problems. You know this chakra, do you know what it's called? Vishuddhi. And a Vishuddhi chakra is responsible for the thyroids, the throat, this area here. It's connected to your sense of intuition. Alright? Inner communication. The Swadhisthana, which is here, is connected more to external communication, and obviously to do more with the problems with sexual disorders, etc., and any problems coming from that area. Alright, so it's more physical and more physical communication. This is more internal communication, learning to listen to your inner voice, learning to hear your own intuition. And sometimes when we don't want to hear or we don't want to listen, guess what? You don't want to listen, you get like a sore throat, you know? Don't want to know, I don't want to know. Or if you use, sometimes physically, if you use this part a lot, overuse, talk too much, this will also be affected. So you use it too little will also be affected. As our master said, yoga is not for a person of extremes. Yoga is not real yoga if you sleep too much or you sleep too little. If you eat too much or you eat too little. Anybody in extremes is breaking the balance. Yoga is for equanimity of mind. And when you are balanced only, do you feel equanimity of mind. If you eat too little, like Buddha experimented, didn't work, did it? It didn't work. He realized in the end it wasn't about starving himself to find God. So he changed and he stopped starving himself. He realized he couldn't get it. And many people think it's about that, and it doesn't work. You just take away the prana from your body. It's also not about eating too much, because it shows an attachment to food. You know, anything you do too much shows an attachment to it. Have you got it? Mm-hmm. So if you know you're doing something too much, then you've got a problem. You've got an attachment. Be careful. Watch it. Practice pratyahara. Bring it in. Watch yourself. Oh, I'm doing it too much. But many times the inner voice doesn't want to hear it. It doesn't want to hear that you're doing this too much. So these kind of practices help you to go internally and give you the strength to listen to yourself. Then you go, I can't do this anymore. I'm fed up. I just want a quiet mind. And then you suddenly do it. My master always used to tell people, when my husband was smoking, he said, don't tell him not to smoke. Tell him to do pranayama. If he does enough pranayama, smoking will leave him. That's what he used to say. Smoking will leave you. You don't have to stress out about leaving anything. When you're ready, it will leave you. Alright? And I love that. I think that's so nice. So natural. There's no stress. When there's no stress, I have to drop this and I have to drop this. It creates more stress. Sometimes you wonder maybe they should just keep going because they're so stressed when they stop. Do you know? So when you're ready, you just let go. So forcing someone, that's why even with children, when you force them, it's worse. They break down. They close up. So same as humans, we're just big children. So Ujjayi is this breath. So how it sounds like is, first I'll teach you how to do it and you can watch me and then you all do it with me. You actually, this is, here we got the glottis. When you swallow, do you feel? Swallow everyone. Do you feel it? Okay, so we constrict it a little. We take the breath through the nostrils, but we constrict the glottis so that it has a hissing sound. And we do the 3-part breath. We breathe in very deeply. I'll show you what it sounds like. Sounds like the sea, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Or like sleeping.
Sometimes when you listen to the shell, you can hear that noise from the sea. And that's what it is. And that's why I thought it was so soothing when I'm rubbing something on me. And I really start to stop wheezing. This is very good for you, Steve. I used to tell my guru, I said, Gurudev, I feel so much better after doing Ujjayi. You know? So, will you all try? It's not easy to learn. The inhalation should be as long as the exhalation. Alright? So, let's practice a little, alright? Feel the glottis? If you need to hold on, then just hold on first till you get used to the feeling. Now, inhale. Close your eyes. If you need to clear your throat, do, because it'll move some oxygen and some energy there. And that's really good. Oxygen heals, as you know. Heal your throat area. This is very good for Carrie, for the baby. Very soothing for the baby. Apply a mantra as you inhale. A good simple one would be so, as you inhale, so, as you exhale. So inhale. This one takes a little longer to learn, practice at home, and it's called Ujjayi. 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 So that's the hissing. It sounds a little like you're hissing, like the seashore. And this one is very good to get you into meditation as well. And because you are so focused and so much oxygen goes into this area, you can see how it helped with your thyroids and parathyroids as well. Because you know the thyroids are responsible for mood swings, hormonal changes in the body, etc., etc. So if you want to steady that, it is very good to do some Ujjayi. Be very good for you, all right? Yes, Kelly, you had a question.
Do you, when you're inhaling, do you fill the belly like the balloon
Yes.
still? That's the same principle?
Same principle.
In all of these, is that?
It's except for Kapalabhati and for skull shining or Bhastrika, yes. You know, in fact, just the 3-part breathing, if you could just do that, we would call it Dirgha Swasam. Can you say it? Dirgha Swasam, everyone. Dirgha Swasam. That's the 3-part breath. That's the very deep inhaling into the abdomen. And because what you're doing is you're really feeling the oxygen going to your abdomen, then your solar plexus, and then filling up your lungs. That way we take in 7 times more oxygen than we normally do. By taking in 7 times more oxygen than you normally do, think how much what it's doing for your cells. It's rejuvenating your cells. So healing happens faster. So it's and this is why you will see that people who do pranayama will stay young longer. And the other pranayama that we should all do is laughing. That's the best pranayama. Gurudev always said that the best pranayama you can do is to laugh. Why? Laugh. When you laugh, Shanti, get them to laugh. You're good at that.
All you can do is think about the soya milk. We'll give it away here. Soya milk story.
I'll tell you the soya milk story. And for those who were here, you will remember it very clearly. One evening we were sitting and we were talking about something very deep and profound, and we just finished. I just finished answering them. And then all of a sudden she goes, "Oh, by the way, everybody, just to let you know, we now have soya milk." And the whole room burst out laughing. In life is to laugh. Sometimes in spirituality we get too serious. When you're laughing, you're doing, what are you doing? Kapalabhati, aren't you? You're just actually really moving the abdomen and you're really shaking the muscles there. And it makes everybody happy. And you know, laughter therapy is very big in India. I don't know if you know that. There was a story told to me about Dada Vaswani. I have him there on a picture there. He's beautiful. He's alive still. He had a stroke at 90. Oh. Yeah. Do you know Dada Vaswani? Anybody heard of him? He's world famous, actually. Incredible. He's not very tall, and he shines. He literally shines. He walks in and he beams. He's beautiful. And Dada Vaswani was telling us a story when he was in Hong Kong, and he said that he had a student who was from America, and she had cancer. And she came to see him and said, "Swamiji, Dadaji," he's Dada, he's not a monk. He goes, "Dada, I am going to die. The doctors have given me 6 months. I want to get your blessings. You know, if I have to go, I want to have the highest blessings from you, and I want to know what I need to do." And he says, "I tell you what will cure you." She goes, "What?" why don't you go to Switzerland? I know a very good laughter therapy school there. I know the chap in charge. Go there, 6 months. And at least, for the last 6 months of your life, you will laugh. You need to laugh. Apparently, she was a very serious woman all her life. She never laughed. So she went to this place. Of course, she didn't die in 6 months. She went back for her test, and she was cured from cancer. She was cured from cancer. It was really, I love stories like this. They're true. I mean, he was telling us about it. And many of us don't laugh enough in our lives. We need to laugh more, have more fun, funny things. That's why I think God sent her to us, because sometimes, things get so serious, and it's just so nice to lighten up, lighten up. We have more fun, God is everywhere. We keep saying it. The Spirit is everywhere, in everyone, in everything. But it's very hard to experience it. And happiness is one way that you do experience the Spirit. Happiness makes you experience, oh, I'm so happy to be in this world. Otherwise, when you hear all the news and you hear all the disasters and everybody is so serious around you, I have so many young people telling me today, so many young people, what is the point of being in this world?
Yeah.
We have Christmas lights.
And it's flashing.
Do you know, we always say flashing lights is the sign of our master being around. Did you know that?
No.
Yeah, everywhere we went, especially after he passed away, we'd get flashing lights. My first initiation that I did for other people, we requested it, and all I got was flashing lights, and we all started laughing because lights used to flash and sound systems used to go when he was around. So every time we see that, we say he's around. Christmas lights. His birthday is 22nd of December. So that's the sign of flashing lights. So let's go back to the Ujjayi, right? How did you find doing it? Was it easy? Was it difficult? It's a little difficult, huh? You found it easy? You've got a very clear throat. Yeah? If you have a little mucus here, you'll find it a little bit more difficult. So try to practice this at home, all right? So that's another pranayama you can do. The last two pranayamas I'm going to teach you, and then I'm going to teach you adaptations. And then we'll do pranayama just to meditate, all right? The last two is sitkari or sitkari or sitali. There's two more. And this is the cooling breath. Sometimes when you meditate, the body gets very hot. It gets really warm. I don't know, any of you notice this when you meditate? It can go very hot first, and then it cools down because it's electrical energy. And when you're meditating, you're charging your battery. And sometimes when you charge your phone, you put it on a charger, it can get very warm. So this is to cool you down. Also, in the olden days, many people used to meditate for many, many hours. And sometimes they feel hungry, and the hunger would stop them from continuing. So they also, help you not become so hungry. They control the hunger desire and the desire for thirst, water, so that you can meditate for a little while longer. All right? So let's start with sitali. It's, any of you know reptiles? What do? That's it. They are cold, right? Reptiles are cold. And why do you think they're cold? How do they breathe? With their tongues, right? So this is sitting. Will you try it with me? Ready, set, stick up your tongue, curl it, bring it in, and exhale. Try it again. Exhale. Again. Exhale. Do you feel your tongue cool?
Cats do this as well.
Pardon?
Cats do this.
Do they? I didn't know cats did it as well. It's to cool. I didn't know that. They cools the body down. Very good for a fever as well. Huh? Very good if you have a high temperature. It cools your body right down. And you can feel the tongue gets really cool. Lovely to use in the summer. It's really hot. Okay. The next one, it's quite simple, that one. And the next one is Sitkari, which is with your teeth like this. Yeah. Inhale. Exhale. This is excellent for your, I should do this more actually. As you get older, we should do this every morning before brushing our teeth. We should make a plan to do that because it brings oxygen to your gums and your teeth, right? And why do teeth decay so quickly? Because not enough oxygen going in. So this goes in through the gaps of the teeth and into your gums, and it's really good for the mouth. Also prevention of disease. All right. So most of the diseases come through our nose and mouth when we inhale or when it goes into our system. So when we do this, we kind of really put the oxygen, and the oxygen cleans and rejuvenates. All right. So let's try it again. Teeth. Again. Again, do you feel the cooling in the tongue? How the tongue cools down, the body cools down. And then now I'm going to go through some variations. What did I do with the tissue?
Isn't this a bit, when you hit yourself as well, you automatically go...
It's true, yes.
I was just thinking maybe it's the body's way of...
Thank you so much.
If you hit yourself...
Yes, it is true. Because when it hurts, it's hot,
or
right?
burn or something.
Yeah, it's true. How clever. I never noticed that. Thank you. Absolutely true. It is, natural. Want to cool it down because pain is hot, you know? Absolutely, yeah. And so these are all different techniques in breathing. Now, really, once you learn to quieten your mind, you don't need to do any of this. You just sit down and you just stop breathing. Or you breathe very quietly. Your breath is very long, and your exhalation is very long. And you hold on the exhalation, and you hold on the inhalation. So now I'm going to do some variations with you, and then we're going to do some holding, because it's the holding that will take you into meditation, all right? So some of the variations of, we did Kapalabhati, right? And we did Nadi Sudhi, which was the alternate nostril breathing. So alternative, sometimes if you've got blocked nose, blocked sinuses, before you brush your teeth in the morning, which is what I learned from my father actually. He did this every morning. Hold the right nostril. Oh, you see, I have mucus I didn't even know, right? Different time of the year always happens, right? And you feel all this, you feel like your head is so clear. It's such a nice feeling. Please try it with me. Does anybody need tissue in case you're like me? You might need it. Please pass it. Is there another box?
Yes,
Yes.
I'll behind you. Please let me know if you want the heater on or off. Turn it off as we're doing pranayama.
Can we pass it on this
Heater
side?
off? Pranayama, better. Thank you.
Lower your nose. Harry, you can do this very gently. Don't force it. You can do like this.
About the holding and retention of breath, it's better not to.
Better not to unless you're an expert with breathing. If you've been doing breathing techniques all your life, or at least the last 2 years, Then no problem with any of our breathing techniques. It's only if your body is not used to it, then don't retain too long. Little while. This is really good when you're having a baby. Yeah. So will you try it with me? Inhale, hold on to the right nostril, and let's go. Exhale. Feel one side clearer than the other?
Sorry, I can't. This doesn't work this side, so I have to.
Why doesn't it work?
I don't know. Since I was a child, it doesn't. It's blocked, and they said it wasn't worth doing the surgery. It would, make it worse.
Do you know what would really help you? The same thing, but Nadi Sudhi, little by little.
Little by little.
It really would, because when I started with the breathing, like I said, I was so asthmatic for so many years, all my life, right? And one of my nostrils was always blocked. I always breathed from one. I could never, always slept with my mouth open. My lips were always dry, and I used to go to doctors and say, I never can close my mouth when I sleep. And then I started with a Nadi Sudhi, and I couldn't breathe, and I couldn't breathe through. I go, I can't breathe. But I kept at it. I kept at it. I didn't give up. And one day, I could breathe. And now, so many years later, I can do it. So many years later. And it's so easy now. But I really kept at it. You have to really try, and don't force. The secret is don't force. When you breathe, you do it like this. Very silently. See, very quietly, you're gently coaxing the oxygen to get into your nostril. Try it, it will heal you. Let me know if you need any help. When I come back in December, I spend a session with you.
Okay.
And we just go slowly, and maybe we can open it out. Don't operate, it won't help.
Thank you.
No, you're welcome. So then let's do the other nostril. Exhale. Close your eyes. The nose area will feel a little bit lighter. Okay. Yes.
I read that you cannot do, or it's not advised to do Kapalabhati when you're pregnant.
Yes.
It has an effect, and I don't know if Carrie...
She knows. I told her last
okay,
time.
yeah.
I already told her. In fact, I was just, thank you.
No, because I saw that you were doing it, I thought...
No, I told her she can do it lightly,
okay.
without pressure. You know when you can, without any
pumping.
pressure, without pumping strongly, because it might help her because she's getting colds. So, it's good to
Yeah, I've got swollen blood vessels. They say that when you're pregnant, the blood vessels swell. And I've had so much trouble with my nose in the night. So
Yeah.
maybe I should be doing it.
do Nadi Sudhi. Do Nadi Sudhi is the safest, or the 3-part breath even, or just slow breathing. Just sit down and just, while you're watching TV, or even better, sit down to do this every hour on the hour. Do 3 deep breaths. It will change your life.
Would a neti pot help her?
A neti pot would definitely help her. Do you know how to use a neti pot?
No, I remember you talking about that before.
It's amazing, amazing.
Yeah, a neti pot, it looks like a little tea kettle, and I can show you next time. And then you put some warm salt water, but you get special salt from the health store. And what you do is you drink it from your nose, one nostril, and it comes out from the other. So it cleans out the whole system. Salt water is very good for you. Warm salt water. Yeah. Does anybody know how to do it that can teach her?
Yes, I'll show you. I used to do it for the patients as well.
I have one which I'm doing for the bazaar, so
Oh.
I'll just give it to her.
Oh,
Thank
lovely.
you. Thank you.
Thank you. It's very
Thank
easy
you.
to
Carrie
do.
is so helpful with the bazaar too, and so that's a perfect gift. Good karma. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Nalanie, can I ask you, do you recommend doing the ujjayi during hatha class?
You what?
Yes, you can
Yeah,
do
because I do,
ujjayi.
and it
Yes,
keeps
yeah.
the exhalation longer, and I kind of connect with the breath.
Yes, I do. Some teachers
Hatha.
don't. They say don't. But you know, what I do is I feel the class.
Yeah,
You feel the
yeah,
energy
yeah,
of the
yeah,
class.
yeah.
And sometimes people are really receptive on certain days, and certain days you feel don't, you know. But yes, there should be no problem. It helped me so much,
Yeah,
you know. The only thing is we say don't teach too many people too much too soon, because too much pranayama is also can be dangerous. It's like a cobra, because it can open up your kundalini energy too quickly. So this is why we do things slowly. And Gurudev said, stick with the simple breaths, and as you advance, then you do more and more and more. And he had a student once, he gave a pranayama class. They were so inspired. And Gurudev was speaking about Bastrika. He was saying, you want Shakti. Do you feel it? Bastrika gives you that feeling of Shakti and strength. And he said, do Bastrika, very good for coughs and colds also. So he had this student who became obsessed with Bastrika, and he kept on doing a lot of it every day. Well, he said 6 months later he called him, and all his blood vessels had burst. In his eyes, too much pressure. Do you see? People tend to overdo. That's why we put limits and say don't do too much. If you know yourself. For example, when you do Kapalabhati, for people who've been doing it for a long time, I tell them to work up to 108. You build yourself up to 108 breaths per round. Normally when I do it with you, it's 20, 25. So what you do is when you practice at home, when you're really good at it, you can slowly, every 1 week do 20, next week do 30, the 4th week stay at 30 for like 2 months, and then do 40 and build up. That way you're introducing, see, oxygen is very powerful. It's very powerful, it can heal many diseases, but also too much too soon is dangerous. So the body is not used to it. So that's all our Gurudev says. He said, just be wise with your learning, but build up. Everything I teach you, build up. If you do Nadi Sudhi for half an hour, great. It's very easy sometimes if you just want for health reasons. You know, you're watching programs at the end of the day. You just sit there and just keep doing. When I was always waiting in the queues in Gibraltar, just do Nadi Sudhi, best time to do it. You're calm, I'm so peaceful, wonderful. I have to wait. I have half an hour to do Nadi Sudhi, which I wouldn't do at home because I'm rushing. Do you see? Use it for these kind of situations. Dirgha Swasam, D3-part breath, I always do when I'm waiting in a queue. The other day I had to go in a queue because I had to, you know, Barclays is closing down and I have to change everything. So I was there in the queue and I was thinking, I really don't have time. So, no, this is it. I have to be in this queue. So I just did Dirgha Swasam, breathe deep, and before I knew it, the queue was gone because I was so involved in my deep breathing. It was so nice. You know, if I'm late, I can't do anything about it. I'm doing my best. You know, I let the queue went quick. But it's like that. When you calm down, everything calms down along with you. And breathing is that wonderful technique. It really is the best technique in the world. So it's so simple. And like I said, once you learn how to stay quiet, all you need to do is do a few breaths like you did last week and the week before. I didn't teach you that much pranayama. We just did a few pranayama. We didn't do so much. And yet, how was your meditation? So deep. Do you see? So it's not necessary to do these, but these are also good for your health. So, and it brings more prana. Yes, and teach whatever you can to your students. If you see that they need to misuse them, then just warn them. Tell them this story that Gurudev told us. And then they will be put off it.